What's going on, everybody? This is PhDarien. I got no PhD, but depends on who you ask. I got PhDs. I want to talk about some Sig issues I've had personally, and some Sig issues I thought were issues that I absolutely love now. And one of the issues is this holster. Now, the holster itself is not bad. This holster is from Tier 1 Concealment. I kind of did a review on this a little bit earlier, and I can say right now, the problem with the holster is nothing. It's a problem with what gear you can use in the holster. So I have these Ulti clips. I'm assuming they're just a short version of Ultimate clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. I'll take out the magazine and I'll flip these clips down. But these clips specifically, so these, let me talk about it first. Let me go ahead and download the gun. All right, empty, clear, safe. I know a lot of people like seeing all that. I do that before I do most of my shows. I'm not going to be walking around in the middle, oh, let me do it for the camera, just so I can flip it out and catch it and all that other cool crap. I don't care for all that.
Nope.
So here's the issue. I was concealing today in a pair of shorts. Now, I've done that before with shorts, but these shorts, because they have that really tight drawstring, this Ulti clip has a hook that kind of goes right underneath it. So while I'm kind of saying that sucks, it's a really good feature because it won't come off. Your holster, if anything, will flip outside your waistband, upside down before, and that hook that's on the bottom of the clip is actually what's caught on the drawstring on sweatpants and shorts and stuff like that that have a drawstring for an internal belt, if you will. It's not as easy to take off when you want it to take off. Now, it's one thing for it to be clipped and it's fastened in position. It's another thing when you lift it entirely and you want to go ahead and get it off and it won't come off because it's still caught in this hook. I'll probably roll some footage about this later, insert it somewhere over here. Okay, so here it is on the right side, unclamped. You'll see it soon on the left, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, of just how thin and that area is on the bottom. That hook that goes up, when it clamps onto something like a drawstring, it sucks. But either way, it's a great holster. I do like it. I have been concealing with this for a few weeks now, however long since I had it. Not every day with it, because sometimes I will still carry my P365, and that's what I want to talk about also. So getting into the Sig P365, I have two of them now. One of them is the XL, and the other one is just a P365. So this is the regular 365XL, the first one I had. As a matter of fact, it's my first Sig. So went from that to that. Go ahead and do that. No round in chamber. And it did come with the little Romeo red dot optic on the top. I have another one over here, and it is the, go ahead and move that chamber flag, drop this magazine as well. This is the normal, just 365. So I'll go ahead and get a close-up view of these two and kind of give a little bit more of an overview as to what I think I like and dislike about the two. And one reason I will say Sig, they may have won contracts with the military. They even had me purchase 3 of their guns, but they're not gonna keep this charades up, and I'm gonna explain that in just a second. Alright guys, so we have the two Sig 365s that I have doing the 69 position, and we're going to kind of go over them real quick, some features that I never mentioned before in a previous video. This may be your first time watching any Sig video, and it could be your 200th time. You are typically going to be the thumbs down voter. Other people may see this for the first time and actually appreciate what I'm talking about. So either way, these are both of the 365s I currently have, and they are considered micro compact pistols. This one up top is the first one I've had. This is the 365XL, and I will go ahead and kind of show that. So this one right here, overall is 20.7 ounces as you see it. All right, so it does have the cutout for the ROMERZero, which is actually on the very side of the optic itself, and it comes zero factory from the box. As you can see, it doesn't have any aftermarket things. This stipple gripped pattern is factory. This is a factory flush 12-round magazine. Everything about it is stock. I have not modified a single thing to this firearm. 3.7-inch barrel, and then also, like I was saying, these magazines are 12-round magazines, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The things I like and dislike about Sig with their magazines. So I'm going to set this down and then talk about the P365. This one here is called the Nitron Micro Compact. So it doesn't have XL on the side. You can look right here and tell that this slide is longer. This is a 3.1-inch barrel. This is 3.7. So that 0.6, like half an inch, is a little bit longer. And we all know, for those of us who conceal carry, it's not the slide you're worried about as much as it is the pistol grip that you want to be concealed more. It is 17.8 ounces, so a few ounces less than the XL with the ROMERZero. This one comes with two 10-round magazines, but they come with different base plates. So this base plate right here is just a stock flat, you know, flat-backed freaking base plate. And the other one is this one that has this little fancy little 45-degree wedge on the end of it. For those, they can get a better grip. For those with the pinky, right, you need that little pinky part. You cannot do that the same with this one. So my pinky goes just past that, and it is still a 10-round magazine, right? And yeah, I definitely get a little bit better grip with this guy. So yeah, wanted to talk about those two things real quick. I'm going to go ahead and break them down and swap them out. I'm going to put this slide on this receiver and vice versa, and then see how I like it. So first things first, I already did it earlier, clear and safe it, you know what I mean? Make sure everything's good. So lock it to the rear. For those of you who don't know, this is the slide stop right here. You just go ahead and push this thing up. It'll do it on an empty mag as well. Then you have a takedown lever. You go ahead and pull this thing all the way down, right? Like so. Now don't go and hit this. Go ahead and hit this, and your slide will go shooting that way. So if anything, just take it off, pull it back, and then you will be able to separate the slide from the receiver. So here's the receiver, here's the slide and barrel assembly. I will talk about the differences between these two as well that I've noticed. Let's get that out of the way for now. And the same with the 365XL ROMERZero series. Go ahead, empty mag for everybody who wants to know. I will just go ahead, for the purposes of me being weak, just go ahead and rack it like that. So I already have that slide already locked to the rear. Then I'll go ahead and release my magazine. Same thing, takedown pin or takedown lever, pulling it back, and have the receiver and the slide and barrel assembly. And I will speak about those two in just a second. But getting into just the receivers, you know, when you put them up side by side, you would think they're the exact same, just a little bit different on the grip, and everything about this gun is the same. Nope. For me, I have a very keen eye, and I believe all of you do as well. So when you're looking at this, to the untrained eye, you're just going to be like, yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that's longer. It's the same size frame. It's the same everything, minus the grip. But when you look down here, you will notice something. The 365XL version of it has this flat bow type trigger on it, and just this normal Nitron Micro has more of a curved trigger. So I'm going to go ahead and just superimpose this one right on top of it, and you'll be able to see the difference in these two triggers. Big deal? Not a big deal, just a deal. Something you notice. So there goes that. So once again, side by side, I look at how they fit. I look at every piece. I believe this 365XL also, if I'm not mistaken, can have different back straps you can add to it and things of that nature, and probably the Nitron Micro does as well. It has a little bit more of a natural flare on the mag well, as you can see right here. So it's not just a shorter version, it's completely different. And then not only that, if you notice, it doesn't have the same cutout or this big notch right here in the magazine well. So this notch right here is for an adapter or a different base plate when you swap out magazine base plates. So real quick, I'll talk about that. The original stock 10 round magazine, like I said right here, will fit into, actually, hold on, let me go ahead and just so you guys know, in case you didn't know what I did, let me, this takedown lever right here, if you can see that, I was trying to put a magazine in it, and with the takedown lever in that position, I physically cannot put a magazine in it, right? And you would think, why can't I put a magazine in it? Why can't I put a magazine in it? Well, what you have to do is lift up on the slide stop. And what that does, I don't know, as you see what it just did, it just took that takedown lever. So if you can see that right there, I'm just gonna push up on that and that alone, and it does that, and now it actually gives me the ability to use that and take the mag in and out. I had issues with that at first when I got this. I was like, what the hell? Something's wrong with my gun, this thing sucks. So either way, so that's that. And this is how flush that 10 round magazine is. This is the stock mag that comes with it, just so you know. I will go ahead, take it out. I will put the other stock mag with the little strange doohickey on the end of it right here. Like I said, it gives you a better grip for those of you who have that pinky issue like myself. And then you can do the upgrade of like 12 round magazines and 15 round magazines, which I have. And I'll show you a 12 round magazine. This 12 round magazine is flush with my 365XL ROMERZero. And this is what it looks like inside the Nitron Micro. So you don't get that same like fit. It will fit, it physically fits, so you can use it, but it just looks dumb. And then when you see all this extra steel that's exposed right here, it makes you think like, dang, is this supposed to look like that? Nope. Magazine release works the same, everything about it's the same. But if you buy one, since I already bought both of these stock, you can clearly see that the stock one is going to be much different, right? This one was actually meant to go on the 365XL type series, the Spectra, whatever it is, or Spectre. And then this one right here, so this is a new one, recently purchased last week. It is also a 12 round magazine. But if you can see right here, these two 12 round magazines are identical as far as the actual magazine. They're both 12 round magazines. Last I checked, Sig Sauer has some sort of patent with these magazines. It may be the way the base plates come on and off and all this other ish. But so far, I'll be honest with you, I'm a fan and not a fan at the same time. And the reason for it is, as you can see right here, these are the same height, they're the same width, they held the same amount of rounds. But this one, with this extra crazy looking stippled base plate, it will fit. It will fit in the receiver on this one and actually be even better of a grip than it was before with that little pinky thing. This is a really good grip. And honestly, because it has a different cant on the angle right here, I actually prefer it than I do the regular 365XL, good Lord, 365XL frame with its stock grip. All right, so this is a 12 round magazine on the 365XL receiver, and this is the 365 Neutron Micro with the 12 round magazine. I prefer the grip of this so much more. This is my personal opinion, and it matters because this is my channel. So either way, getting out of that, I'm gonna go ahead and download that one more time and this one more time, and then do the upper receivers or the slide and barrel assemblies of both, and talk about some differences that I've noticed. I thought they were just as simple as same, shorter. So this is the Nitron Micro. As you can see right here in my hand, this is the one that has the 3.1 inch barrel. And then this down here is the 365XL ROMERZero. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the barrel and the recoil spring out so you can see what I'm talking about. So recoil spring, grabbing the barrel lug, and then taking the barrel out, having the slide right over here, and then just gonna place these beside it. Same thing with this one. Recoil spring comes out, grab the barrel lug, take the barrel out. So, difference. Clearly made of the same material. Everything's going to be identical as far as the striker and everything in the back. That I haven't seen an issue with. They look pretty much the same. Obviously the barrel is a different length. You can see right here how different the barrel length is. Don't mind the bottom one or the top one, whichever view it is I'm doing this. The XL version is not cleaned at all. I've been blasting that one more lately. This one right here has been recently cleaned after I shot it. So either way, it is looks cleaner, and it's only had maybe 50 rounds through it as of right now. So barrels, very similar, just different lengths. It's 0.6 inches off. But this is where I noticed something is a little bit different, is the recoil spring guide. So this one right here, this one's on the Nitron Micro Compact. So this is the one that kind of reminds me of like when Gen 4 Glocks first came out. They had a dual recoil spring guide. And of course, the state of California told all the civilians, nope, you cannot have that. And I thought they were going to be the same. And then this recoil spring guide is like any other one that was just a solid piece of steel that will go ahead and recoil just the same. Now this is not a serviceable one, although I don't see why you would want to. I mean, you can take this off physically and get a lower power spring. I wouldn't mess with stuff like that. But whenever I was shooting this one right here, I'll be honest with you, it never wanted to lock on empty on the single round. And I believe it did have enough force to eject, because these are blowback type actions, right? So they're not gas operated. They are counter recoil operated, but they're a blowback system essentially. So the bullet goes off, sends a lot of gas backwards or forward, I'm sorry, and just the sheer amount of force sends the slide to the rear. And then the recoil spring will take up tension, take up a lot of tension, as you see me taking it off right now, and then send the slide back forward. And even still, to push on this is pretty freaking hard for me to do. Like it's not normal to pull that much. It is actually easier to pull on this one, I believe. Yeah, much easier to pull on this one. And I had no issues with that, even from day one to just doing drills in the house with dummy rounds and stuff like that. I do notice the smaller receiver or slide with this specific recoil spring guide has a much tighter tolerance than the XL. So what does that actually mean? It actually means it's actually harder to pull back and lock to the rear on its own. Although neither one of them are hard, this one just takes a little bit more force. So enough said with that. I'm going to put them back together, and then I'm going to swap out slides with receivers and just see what that looks like, and tell you what I think about that. All right, everybody, so this right here is what you're probably used to seeing, but we're going to do something different and move this out of the way and then put this. So now that I've done that, I want to make sure to do the same thing. I can't pull the takedown pin all the way down. I got to kind of lift up on this slide release to do that. And then what I'm going to do is, when I'm actually putting the slide back on, another thing, a lot of people, let me see if I have it happen, and I'll talk about it then. I don't think I'm going to have it happen. Nope, I'm not. it'll automatically do that. So this is just a regular 365 slide on the 365XL version of the actual receiver. Doesn't feel any different, right? As far as the actual feel, fitment, in my hands, same. Nothing to see here, nothing of crazy note. But I will say this, I still prefer, personally, the grip with the 12 round magazine. So let me go ahead and put the stock 12 round magazine in this right now and say, yep, it feels like what I've been used to, but I also got rid of it for a reason and started putting 15 round mags, and we'll get to that later. But once again, because this new base plate, I cannot physically even put the 12 round magazine from the normal 365 receiver in it. I got to take it off and do a lot of modifications. So for somebody who owns two of the same type of firearm, that really sucks to me, and I don't want to have to do that in the field. If it was like, hey, let me just go ahead and try another magazine out, and say, no, I got to take the base plate off, I have to do this, I have to do that, beep, bop. That's pretty damn annoying. It's the same series of firearm. So why they don't have the same magazines, I don't know. Now, technically they do have the same magazines, but they have different base plates, and that's one of my major issues with it. One thing about Glock, they all damn work together. And now that I've done that, I'm going to swap it out with the new 365, or at least the new to me, 365 frame and my 365XL Romeo. Cool, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, lock it, bam. And I can tell you right now, of course this sucks. This really does suck. Even with the 10 round flush mag, to me, sucks. So let me put this one with the little wedge. Like I said, not bad, better. Don't like it either. Now let me put the 12 round mag with the same wedge, and oh Lord, I'm about to get a Moab in Call of Duty with this. This is going to be my primary weapon. This wouldn't even be considered a secondary to me. So I really do love this. I would rock this for concealment more so than how I've been rocking it. And I'll explain. I'm going to put them back because I don't want to swap them out like that. I am going to put them back, and it's making me think I might have to get a P365 FCU 80%er and make my own. And if so, it's going to be like this. I'm going to have a XL slide with a Micron body, or Nitron. I don't know why I keep saying Micron, because it's a micro. So yeah, so let me go ahead and swap that back out. Oh yeah, and just real quick before I do that, I do have a 15 round magazine. That's what I do conceal carry whenever I have my 365XL, because it does fit better to me. Once again, having this just sticking out the way it is, absolutely unsat, but I don't want a base plate that's just that freaking large. You get what I'm saying? That much, trying to eat it up. So I was like, nope, I'm good. I would rather just, you know, take the full frame the way it's supposed to be. And because of it, and I have bigger hands, I get even more of a purchase on this, even more so than I did on the stock 12 round magazine. So either way, let me know what you guys think about that. Those are some of my Sig issues I've had. Nothing against Sig as a company. I have some stuff about the 365 that I have to say, and I have some stuff about the P320s that I want to say, but I'm nobody, right? I'm just a guy who shoots guns. Although, yeah, I'm in the military, yeah, I'm issued SIGs. There are some things about them that, like any company, could do better. I will say this about Glock, is every generation of Glock looks like the generation before it almost, which tells me something. Don't fix it if it's not broke. And they have to make a change, so they'll make a very minute change and say, okay, fine, you want another generation? Here you go. But it's just as good as the previous one. Only because they've become ambidextrous lately is why they're I think much better. That's a huge shift to me. But yeah, so what do you guys think about this video? These are my two Sig 365s, the XL and the Nitron, my bad, the Nitron Micro. So either way, let me know what you guys think of that. This is PhDarien, and I'm out. Peace.